Do you believe that the Minecraft survival experience is too easy in its vanilla format? Well, the newest add-on to the Minecraft Bedrock Marketplace might be able to change that for you. You see, today's add-on reveal is going to be on the Extreme Survival Add-on 1.0 by Shapescape. Coming in at just 490 mine tokens, this add-on takes up 17 megabytes of size. But is the Minecraft vanilla survival experience too easy? Or is this too extreme? Just before we jump into today's video, I wanted to let you know that this video is intended to be a first look reveal and not a full tutorial or an actual playthrough. I'm going to be exploring the add-on for the first time, and you're going to see my genuine reactions and thoughts as we go through it. I'll lay out every block and item that I can find to show you just how much content you get for your minecoins, and I'll talk through what I think stands out, what might need work, and what my general overall impressions are. There are timestamps down below in the description, so feel free to jump around to the sections that interest you most. Let's go. So when you load into a brand new world with the Extreme Survival Add-on 1.0, you're given the Extreme Survival Add-on Guidebook. You're also given a settings item, you're given a vitality compass, you're given 2 freezing protection potions that last for 3 minutes, and you're given 2 overheating protection potions that last for 3 minutes as well. But before we get into reading the guidebook, let me tell you, in today's video, we're going to be checking out the brand new blocks, the brand new armors, the brand new items, and then we're going to experience the add-on and see what new things are introduced. There will be chapters down below if you want to jump ahead, and feel free to if you don't want to watch all of it. But if you want to stick along for the journey, you are very welcome. Let's get into today's guidebook. So if we open it up, it is a 3D guidebook. It does all that moving around with you. It's not exactly the biggest or most flamboyant of guidebooks, but it's quite nice. It says Extreme Survival. Welcome to Extreme Survival. This add-on takes your survival experience to a whole new level. Encounter dangerous storms, a new extreme temperature system, and much more. And if we click in here, we can see there are contents. We've got introduction, contents, vitality compass, world mechanics, storms, items, tools and gear, structures. And we're going to start with the vitality compass. So you're given this when you load in, and it's crucial to master extreme survival. It helps you by displaying your body temperature UI, which you can see on the screen here. At the bottom, we've got the world temperature telling us how warm or cold it is around, and this is in Fahrenheit. And at the top, it says your body temperature, which mine is currently on the 3rd of 7 settings. It then goes on to say that this is an important player stat. The thermometer UI displays your body temperature. Being too cold or too warm will experience negative effects. The warmer or colder you are, the worse the effects, and the world temperature does not reflect your body temperature. Be important to remember that. There are also 5 new settings that you can get, or would they be more like enchantments, ailments? I'm not really sure what you would call them, but statuses. They are statuses. You get a broken leg, which is applied when you fall from a great height, and this will affect your movement speed temporarily and will slowly return to normal. You can be seasick when you're using boats during a storm, which will give you nausea effect and can be stopped by exiting the boat. You can be wet, which is applied when you're standing in water, snowfall or rain. You can be muddy, which is applied when you fall into quicksand or walk on mud. It gives you mining fatigue, but it will also cool you down. And to wash off the mud, you have to stand in water, lava, which seems quite extreme, rain or snowfall. And then there's also altitude sickness, which is applied if you're higher than 110 blocks in the sky, which lucky for me, I'm on 104. To prevent altitude sickness, you can wear the altitude helmet, which we'll get to later. And this can be found in hiker cabins high up in the mountains. There is also a change to how you obtain wood in this add-on. It says, would it be extreme if you can just start obtaining wood as usual? Of course not. To obtain wood, you need to start gathering sticks, which you can then craft into wood scraps. Finally, the last step is to craft together those wooden scraps to get wooden planks. So they've changed how it works. You can't punch the tree. You get sticks which turn into scraps, and those scraps then turn into planks. And an easy way to get sticks is through tumbleweeds and dead bushes in the desert, normal and red deserts. Interesting. So you are not going to be able to just punch the tree and start Minecraft how you would normally. There is also breaking ice. So when you walk on an ice lake, you can potentially start breaking the blocks by standing still for too long. It will give you a frosty surprise in ice cold water. But if you're wearing boots with the Ice Walker enchantment, the ice blocks won't break. And then on the flip side of that, there is also quicksand. So when you're in a desert, there are quicksand pockets that generate all over every desert. If you stand in them for too long, you will sink and take damage. The tip is to always have a shovel on hand when you walk through the desert. It's easier to dig yourself out. And quicksand pockets can also generate in red deserts. They have also introduced wind into this add-on, and it says with extreme weather, there comes wind. In extreme survival, the wind changes dynamically. If there is a storm active, it's stronger. You can craft a wind sock block to determine direction and strength of wind. They've also affected how sleeping happens. So in a world where temperature and storms become part of everyday survival, falling asleep will be a bit more difficult than usual. If you're freezing cold, even your bed won't warm you up and you won't be able to sleep. If it's really hot, you're going to have a hard time falling asleep as well. But if you don't have enough hearts, that will cause you too much pain to allow you to sleep. And lastly, if there's a storm raging, you can't sleep. All you can do is shiver and be scared of the thunderbolts, because you ain't going to be sleeping until it ends. And talking of storms, storms will ravage the overworld, Nether, and I'm guessing that's supposed to say the end. Every day, there's a certain possibility for a storm to appear, which is spelled wrong. You can change the probability of storms occurring in the menu, and with a thunderstorm, there is heavy rainfall and strong wind. These occur in the plains and the forests. There are a lot more lightning strikes than in a usual thunderstorm, and be aware of creepers being charged nearby. You can also get a sandstorm, which is dense and piercing. When one appears, walking towards the wind will damage you. This can occur in a desert or a mesa. Mobs will also float from the hefty wind, so watch out for flying husks. You should seek shelter or walk with the wind, i.e. away from the storm. You can get a blizzard in a plains or a forest, which is a heavy, cold snowfall and wind that pushes you around the cold lands. You have to warm up fast and keep moving. If you stop moving, snow will build up around you, trapping you in the cold. Then there's a Nether storm. On top of hot winds, wither skeletons will spawn around you. They'll be drawn towards the center of the storm, to you. This occurs in the Nether. There is a cap of 5 wither skeletons being spawned at the same time, including ones that are already there, so the Nether can be a lot more dangerous. And then there's also an end storm. You're going to be pushed around by wind, while being assaulted by purple teleportation thunderbolts. They will teleport you to a random nearby location. This occurs in the end, and don't go too close to the edge of the island, as you might be pushed over into the end. Interesting, that's actually really cool. We'll try and test some of that out in the experience section later. There is also a hail event, which causes hailstorms to deal persistent damage. These can occur in plains and forests, and it tells you to seek shelter to avoid the hail damaging you. This guy's standing under a tree. We then have armor, so we get warming armor, which can help you explore colder biomes or the end. So we can already tell here that the end is going to be a cold biome. The warming armor can be crafted with iron, leather, gold, diamond, and netherite. The warming effect is the same whether you're using leather or netherite, but the protection will change depending on which one you're using, like standard armor. And the same occurs for cooling armor, but this helps you get around warmer biomes or the Nether. So we can already say that the Nether's going to be hot. Who would have guessed? And this is again the same, can be crafted with leather, iron, gold, diamond, and netherite. The cooling effect remains the same, but the protection changes. We get potions for overheating and freezing, which we were given at the start. I'm not a potion guy, so I won't be going into that too much. There is an altitude helmet, which can help your breathing up in mountain peaks. You can find this helmet in mountain cabins up in the mountain peaks as well if you don't want to craft it. There is a cooler block and a heater block, which we'll look at later. There's also a temperature block, a wind sock, and a windmill. There's a vitality compass and a menu item. And then the biggest secret in this entire add-on is the addition of backpacks. There are 4 different types of backpacks available in 17 different colors. There is a tiny, small, medium, and large backpack. We'll look at that later when we look at the items. And then for the custom structures, you'll find a mountain cabin in the mountains, an ice skeleton in ice biomes, an oasis and a desert skeleton in a desert. And that's it. Make sure you give this add-on a review by Shapescape. You can check out their socials here. But that is the guidebook. Now, if I crouch and break that and get rid of that, one other thing that we can look at is the settings menu here. So if we click into the settings menu, there are a lot of things that can be toggled. So we'll start at the bottom here. I've turned off all ambient sounds for this video, but during the experience section, I will turn them back on. I just didn't want them to be overpowering. In the general options, you can turn on the ability to show your temperature bar on sneak, which I'm going to do. It will display the world temperature and there will be chat warnings. You can change the degrees unit. So I'm going to put Celsius on because I'm from the UK. You can also change the difficulty. It's defaulted to easy. And you can also adjust the thunderstorm and hail frequency, which I'll be playing around with later, but right now they're on 0. They start on 50, I believe. You can then also turn on or off the different statuses and effects. So you can turn on altitude sickness, broken leg, cracking ice, muddy state, seasick, and wet state. I would immediately turn off seasick. I don't like the nausea effect. I think it's annoying. But we'll keep them all on for here. Very good customization. In terms of temperature, you can also turn on or off the overheating effects and damage and freezing effects and damage as well. I really like how customizable this seems to be. And then also ambient particles, you can turn on or off northern lights and tumbleweeds. So we'll keep those all on as well. So immediately we can see there's a ton of content here at 490 mine tokens. It's setting the stage to be amazing. So why don't we start by having a look at the brand new blocks that are added in this add-on. And so as we look at the blocks in this add-on, we're going to start with the thermometer block. As you can see here straight away, it's a copper block, which doesn't seem to weather. This has been placed down for a while. I'm not sure it weathers. I don't see any other types in the inventory or creative menu, so I don't think this copper does weather. But you can see it's a copper block and it's got the thermometer slider similar to the one with the vitality compass on the screen, which for some reason, there you go. Because I toggled on that sneak to show, it doesn't show it by default. You have to sneak to show it now. Okay, cool. It's very similar to that, except it's turned vertical. And I'm guessing that will change depending on how hot the world is. We'll toy around with that later. In terms of crafting, it's going to take 6 copper ingots, 1 glass, 1 vitality compass, and 1 redstone dust. You can't interact with it, but to note, you do need a block of iron to place it down. If you try to place it down without the block of iron, like so, it will just pop and you get an error message. And I don't know if you saw that. That just slowly changed. So it takes a little while for the temperature to meet up, but it then does tick up to be there and it is consistent across the way. So just bear that one in mind. I do believe that is an entity with the shadow as well. So just bear that in mind too. Always a bit disappointing to see entities, but hopefully there's not going to be too many. Next up then, we have got the wind sock. Now the wind sock not only tells you the direction the wind is blowing, but also the speed of the wind. The more stripes that you see here is supposed to indicate how fast the wind is. And when you place this down, it will spin round until the wind catches it. And then boom, there you go. Now you know what you're doing. And again, that consistency is good. It seems to line up quite well. Hopefully that is the case after some more of a playthrough. You don't need an iron block for this. And to craft this, it's 3 copper ingots, 1 white wool, 1 red wool. Very, very simple. Next up, we then have the windmill, which wind turbine, sorry, not windmill. Took a little while to get that, but you can see it moves along with the wind here as well, and I believe it moves faster and slower depending on how fast the wind is. To craft this, it is 4 iron ingots, 1 redstone block, and 2 iron trapdoors. And again, on this one, if you try to place it down on stone, it will pop. But if you have an iron block, you can place it down like so, and you can see it picks up the wind fairly quickly. Next up, we also have the cooler block. Now, the cooler block can just be placed down as simple. It's crafted with 4 iron ingots, 1 ice block, 1 spruce trapdoor, I believe that is. It shows a spruce trapdoor. I'm not sure if you can use different trapdoors, and 3 cobblestone. Now, this can be used with redstone, and I'll show you over here because I've put one here. What happens is you get the redstone dust. You can use a lever or any other type of redstone. Maybe you link it up to the temperature block so that when it hits a smaller, colder temperature, it will turn on. There's all sorts of functionality here, but when you turn it on, you can see it changes and now it's on. And what we'll do here is if I turn that back off again for a second and I get my vitality compass out, you'll see the world temperature is 14.1 and I'm in the 3rd section of the body temperature. If I stand up, turn that on and crouch, the world temperature dips to below 12, down to 11.6. As we're in an open space, my body temperature hasn't changed, but the world temperature does. And if I turn that back off, you'll see that the temperature will tick back again. And what we can do here is grab one of these again. In fact, I've got one in my inventory. What we can do is pop this here, place that down, let that settle so that we know that we've got a temperature. There we go. And turn it back on again. And we can see with my vitality compass that the temperature is dipping, but the thermometer doesn't seem to have dipped enough. So it doesn't look like it's affecting the thermometer's temperature range to dip, but we know it has dipped to 11.6 from, what was it, 14, I think it was, 13, 14 degrees, 14.1. So that's how that works. And then separate from that, we also have a heater block. Now, a heater block is 5 iron ingots, 1 bucket of lava, if I could speak properly today, that would be awesome. And on top of that, you need a smooth stone, or 3 of them at least. And so this is also powered by redstone. So if we come over to here again, you can see we can turn this on and you get a little change there. You turn it off. And I'm not sure if that's a bug that stays on there. Did that happen to this one? Let's see. All 4 of those have turned off. So the lava, for some reason, on one side hasn't turned off. So that might be a visual bug there, or maybe an oversight in making it. But what we'll see on this now is if I crouch, the world temperature has gone up to 19.5, which if I turn it back off again, you'll see it dips all the way back down again. So this is affecting world temperature. My body temperature went up there as well. See, it's dipped back down. So do that. This affects our body temperature quite drastically there as it steps us up to the middle. The thermometer block, though, I don't believe changed, which is, again, very interesting. Turn that back off. A little bit of a test. Maybe it's not close enough. That would be weird. Yeah, it's not moving. What if I placed it right next to it? Grab that, place that down. Pop that one off because it's doing stuff. Fill that in. Okay, so we know we're here on that. Let's do this. Do this so we can see the world temperature. There we go. So depending on how close it is how accurate that reading is going to be. So from here, it's 19.5 on that body temperature. If I step back again, do I cool down? How far away do I have to be from it to cool down? Doesn't look like I'm going to cool down. Wow, I can be quite far away. How's my body temperature? World temperature slowly cooling. My body temperature, there we go. My body temperature has ticked down now. So it takes a little while for that to change, but it does fluctuate. And so those are all of the new blocks that you get in this add-on. I'd be very interested to see what somebody could hook up with a temperature block or a thermometer block and a cooler or a heater, or even using the wind stuff in a redstone thing. Someone smart is going to be able to do something really cool with that. And I like it. Other than that one visual glitch, it seems to be working quite well. I'm quite amazed, actually, that this is 490 mine tokens right now. I'm kind of looking to see what's wrong with it. let's go and have a look at the different armors that you get in this add-on. Let me just take a moment to let you know about the massive empire we have growing here at Dazman Entertainment. My main channel is the Dazman channel, where I do texture pack reviews, add-on reveals, and live streams. My second channel is the Dazman Reacts channel, where we do testing on Minecraft with add-ons and texture packs, we do creator interviews, and we do Minecraft trailer reactions. I also have a Dazman Plays channel, where I play non-Minecraft games, a Dazman Football channel, where I play football games, or for all of you non-Europeans out there, soccer games, and a wrestling channel at Dazman Wrestling, where I should hopefully start playing wrestling games again. On top of that, we have the Dazman Blogs website, which hosts my entire texture pack review database to check or compare my official review scores with your favorite or most intriguing texture packs. I also have creator interviews, written texture pack reviews, and it's the home of the Actions and Stuff compatibility list, where we find out what packs do and don't work with the awesome Actions and Stuff texture pack. And also, we have the Dazman merch site, where you can find merchandise from the channel, all organized and arranged by spring. And lastly, my main channel and the Dazman Reacts channel have channel memberships available, with custom badges and emojis to really help you guys stand out while supporting the channels and all that goes on here. Or we have the Patreon account to help support all of the work that goes on across the entire empire. You can support specific channels or all of the channels. Links to everything will be in the description, but don't worry, if you can't or don't want to support with real world money, then please just make sure you hit the like button on the video. Leave a comment, even if it's just to say hello, so I can reply to you, and please do check that you're subscribed to help the channels grow. That support is invaluable. Enjoy the rest of the video. In regards to the armors in the Extreme Survival add-on then, there are two different types of armors. You have the warm armor and you have the cooling armor, and these come in 5 different materials. And as you can see, they're about 99% identical. So we've got leather, gold, we've got iron, diamond, and netherite. And in regards to the warm, what you'll see is there'll be like a diamond insignia here on the warm one. You see it on the belt, the feet, and the hat. And then over here we've got iron, and that changes there and there and there as well. And then for the cooling one, on the back there's this weird little like label or torch effect. So this is iron. You've got gold here as well. You've got the leather one there too. And then again over here for diamond and then netherite as well. But for all intents and purposes, the cooling and warming effects that each of these armors do are exactly the same. The only difference is how strong leather armor is compared to netherite armor. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and put these on first of all. I don't know if this is going to work up here. We may need to go into a particular biome and look at this in the experience section. But if we put the cooling armor on first, if I wear it, you see right there, that's how it fits on me. So my skin is still showing on the arms and on the legs. They're like shorts and whatnot. But if we put the vitality compass in our hand and we crouch, we can see the body temperature has now ticked to that 3rd area. That could have something to do with this. So let's turn this off. In fact, let's break those for now. And then let's crouch down again. So I want to see, world temperature is 14.2. It does tick us down. So this isn't having an effect here. This isn't particularly a warm biome. So that's probably why. And like I say, we may need to check this in the experience section. But if we then grab the warm one on here, just to see as well if this does anything, like so, 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is how it looks when you're wearing this. And then you can see where my eyes are because I've opened my eyes. So a slight difference. Also got gold on the shoulders. Why do I have gold on the shoulders? Weird. It's a leather armor, but I've got gold on the shoulders. I thought I'd made a mistake, but I hadn't there. Okay, and then if we crouch down with the vitality compass here, so this has actually changed my body temperature, and it has made me warmer here. So this is affecting it. So as you can see, I'm now in the 3rd square, not the 2nd square. And if I take that off, 1, 2, 3, and 4, How long does it take for that to drop me back down? It's not an instant drop down. Is it going to just tick it down? This is real time. There we go. It does. It does tick it down in real time. So it takes a little while for your body to settle. That's kind of cool. And then another thing that we can do is if we grab the mending book, we'll see, are these enchantable? So the leather cooling helmet is okay. And then the leather warm helmet is as well. So I'm willing to say, just from that test, with them being very similar, all 5 of these pairs are going to be enchantable. That's good to know. And then lastly then, we also have this. This is called the altitude helmet. And if we put this on, it's a little bit scary, in fairness. It's a bit bug-eyed. But apparently what this is supposed to do is help you breathe when going up tall mountain peaks. So if we take this off, I don't know if this is actually going to work. Again, this could be something that needs to be checked in experience. But if we go up high, maybe we need to go up over here. Is this going to be high enough on here to count? It said over 110. Got an error for the wind turbine, apparently. Okay. Up here. So, yeah, this is now 130. Going to survival. I'm not wearing it. Can't say I'm noticing any weirdness up this high at the moment. If I put this on, although there was a little something, you're suffering from altitude sickness. Oh, so nausea does come in. Okay, so it takes a few seconds. You should descend to a lower altitude or wear an altitude helmet. I'm wearing an altitude helmet. Okay. Takes a few seconds for it to work. So we'll take that back off. So this is me just walking around at level 130, which is above 110, dripping down around 128, 130. So I get nausea effect on here right now. This is ticking down for a few seconds every time. Yeah, 4 seconds each time. And then if I put the altitude helmet on, you can see it's half an armor point. And when nausea ticks off, it resets. So it takes a little while for the altitude helmet to kick in. But now it's gone and I don't have it. So you can see the altitude helmet does work and does help you go over tall mountains. So let's head back over to our platform. A little bit of behind the scenes on how we're floating over here. Very cool. But if we head over to our anvil now, we're going to test to see how the helmet works with enchantment. So we'll grab one of those, grab that. Let's put the helmet in here. It can be enchanted as well. So the armors can be enchanted. They can warm you, they can cool you, and they can help you at an altitude. That's awesome. Why don't we have a look at the brand new items that you get in this add-on? Now, aside from the items that we've already seen, like the Vitality Compass, the Settings Wheel, and the potions over there, there are also a few others. Now, I'm not going to go through all 17 different colors of each type of backpack. So we're just going to consider these 4 items that can be dyed. And then also we've got these, which are the wood scraps, which we'll experience more in the experience section. But we know that these come from sticks and are used to create wood planks. So that leaves us with the different backpacks. Now, as you can see, there is one for every color in Minecraft. The creative menu is a bit of a mix up though. So if Shapescape could potentially tidy up the inventory, that would be great in a creative menu. It's not going to affect most players, but that was annoying doing this. But yeah, so we get tiny, small, medium, and then large. And now for these, what you'll see is they do not go on your chest plate manually, like so. You can't place them down. They don't go in your offhand like that at all. No, these are more like your realism craft backpacks. You place them down in a block like so, as you can see, and then on here you would then interact and you can place things in them like so. And you can put a backpack in a backpack, not a problem there. And then what you do is crouch, interact, and it's now on your back. And it doesn't take up an armor slot, which is actually quite cool. And what we can do here is if we grab this, for instance, a nice little test, place down the netherite warm chest plate, you can wear the backpack on top of your armor. That's awesome. I have no idea where it's technically sitting on the inventory. I can tell you here, it looks a bit bugged, but it's working. It's sitting there fine. I'm not getting any weirdness. And then to take it off, you want to stand still, crouch, and just wait a second or two. You get the sound effects, and then it comes off in a slightly animated way. Place there, go into it, and there's the stuff that I put in. And then to put it back on, crouch, interact. It's now there, and if you don't stand up quick enough, it will take itself back off again. So you want to go like that and then stand up straight away. And there you go. And that is how you use the backpack. Very cool. And like I said, there is one for each type. If we have a look, this is how much space you get in a tiny backpack. This is how much space you get in a small backpack. This is how much space you get in a medium backpack. Once we put it down on there, so you get 4 times free on that one. And then in a large backpack, you get 5 times free right there. So it's expandable storage too. That's cool. Why don't we go and see what it's actually like to experience a few of the new things that this add-on brings in a survival element. And actually, before we go into the experience section, one thing I didn't show you was if you have items in a backpack and you break it, so you go into survival and you break it, it takes a few punches, it will break, it will drop the backpack, but everything inside of it will expand out. I missed that, but now you know. Let's go to the experience section. Now, the first thing I'm going to do in this experience section is actually go to the extreme survival settings item, which unfortunately it says you can only use the settings menu when in creative mode. Now, I loaded this world in the normal difficulty, and for some reason the settings when we checked it earlier said it was in easy mode. So if you want to change it from easy mode, you have to go into creative mode to go into settings to change the difficulty, which will disable trophies, which is not what you want. Or, you know, people want trophies and achievements. So I don't like that you have to be in creative mode to go into this. And I feel like there could potentially be issues, but do correct me down below if I'm wrong here. I don't really use achievements or trophies in general, being a PS5 player. But anywho's, let's go into creative and let's use the settings. So what I want to do here is go to ambient sounds, and I want to turn these on for you so you can hear all of the sounds now. And they come in quite quick. There's no audio volume or anything like that. I've also changed it to normal now. I'm going to keep thunderstorms and hail frequencies to 0 until we need them. And so what we'll do, yes, Mr. Sheep, what we'll do is punch a tree, the Minecraft thing. Let's go into survival and let's punch a tree. Now the tree will break like normal and I will take damage. I will also get mining fatigue for about 30 seconds and I won't get the block. So it really has changed the start of Minecraft. And as you can see there, we are not able to break the block quickly. The mining fatigue has taken effect. So we need sticks. Does that mean then that I have to break leaves to get sticks? Obviously, it did say something about tumbleweed and deserts, but we're not playing in a desert. And so another way to get sticks is by breaking leaves, which you can do with mining fatigue. And mining fatigue does wear off. But let's just see how many sticks we'd get if we completely unleaf a tree. Let's see how extreme this is going to be. We've had 0 so far, which is never a good start. Still 0. We got 1. Okay, that counts. So we've got 1 stick. I'm actually going to go over here and reach into my bag of tricks. So I do have a backpack. And in that backpack, I do have 64 sticks ready. And I do have a crafting table. So you've already seen the tree does not give you the log. If we go into the crafting table, we place that down there. We don't need it straight away. We've got it set to craftable. We can now make 32 wood scraps. So what I want to do is let's just test it like so. So I've only got 2 sticks on me. That will make 1 scrap. From 1 scrap, we now get to see oak planks. But it shows it to us via a log. So it doesn't show us that planks are made by scraps. It still shows us the original crafting recipe. Okay. I am more forgiving on bugs like that at 490 mine tokens. Obviously, we want a working game. I'd like a polished game too, but we don't need to lose our mind for it. So let's get another one of those. So it's not 2. It's not 3. It is 4. And when you've got 4, it then shows us there in the crafting that it needs 4 of those. And that's just for 1 plank. That is absolutely mental. That's just 1 plank there. And then so to even make an axe, you would need that to get that. And then so you'd need 12 scraps like so. And then you'd need a stick. And then you'd need to go into a crafting table. And that's just to make... Well, actually, I didn't make the 3rd one. There we go. Now I did. So that's to make 1 wooden axe. That could take ages. And then obviously with the wooden axe, you can do that. And now it gives you the log. So that's all working absolutely fine. Wow. Okay, so it's good to know that that's working. And it's good to see just how much... Like, it's not difficult, but it's time consuming. And it would be more of a survival element there straight away. Interesting. Okay, so then next up then, one other thing that I want to check is how does it work in terms of jumping from a height and getting a broken leg? That hasn't done anything. So if I fell from here, say... Oh, that sound. I hope you heard that. I really hope you heard that. So you don't get an animation for it. I do feel like we're closer. It's like you get, like, it's like I've been slowed down. I don't see that I've been slowed down, but I have got that camera effect. I'm trying to sprint and it's not letting me as well. So I've got that broken leg. Oh, and what did that say? You've hurt your leg. You'll be slower for a while until it heals. I hated, like, I loved, but I hated that crack noise when I hit my leg. That really hurt. That was not nice. Like, once the camera resets back to normal, then we'll be fine. I feel like I've gotten a bit faster again. We're still going back. If you can see it on the edges of the screen, that the camera is pulling back slightly. Am I back to normal? Wait, that's just walking and sprinting. So I'm back to normal now. Okay, so it is waiting for that camera to return. So that's how long it takes to heal from a broken leg. If you ever break your leg, there you go. So then one other thing then that I want to do is go into creative. I want to get, let's get a campfire. I want to see different types of heat. Campfire. Let's get ourselves a flint and steel, like so. And you know what we're going to get as well? Let's get ice. Let's get an ice block. So down here in our vitality compass, our body temperature is 3rd on the list, and the world temperature is 23.7. You can see here as well, I have nothing in my armor. So if I place down a campfire, does that affect world temperature? 23.7. Doesn't look like it. What about body temperature? Doesn't look like it. So we're not getting any effect off of a campfire. That's unfortunate. I feel like there's the other survival add-on does it where it does do that. But I could be wrong. But okay, so no effect off of a campfire. What about if we set grass on fire? Crouch. 23.8. That's not been affected by the fire. My body temperature's not done. What if I step in it? I'm on fire and then the fire disappeared. Oh, but my body temperature did go up though. What if I come here? Oh, I'm not able to get on fire from that. Hold on. Tick that. Stand there. Is it because I'm not in survival? My body temperature's gone up though. Oh, it's burning up. Yeah. So body temperature does go up when you're burning. Okay. Well, if we go into survival now, I'm no longer on fire. Does the world temperature be affected by that? No. So fire does affect your body temperature, but not the world temperature. And then on the other hand, if we have ice, oh, ice is actually making it colder. 1 second. So if I'm stood, let's stand over here somewhere, just a little bit more generic. Down here, 24.4. I have always day on, so it's not the time of day affecting it. 24.5. So come over to the fire. Nothing. And then next to the ice makes us 22.6. Coming over to here makes it 23.6. So ice actually affects the temperature, but fire doesn't on the world. And then if we're standing on this and I crouch, does it affect our body temperature? Yes, I know, Pig. I'm just standing on an ice for YouTube. Say hi. Thank you. My body temperature isn't changing. So the ice block affects world temperature, but not body temperature. Fire affects body temperature, but not world temperature. Very interesting how that works. I now want to go and see a desert and an ice biome. Now I'm standing on the edge of an icy biome, and if I crouch down here, we can see world temperature is 12.5, and I'm on the 3rd body temperature. If we run into the icy biome, like so, how are we looking here? I did not realize there was a pillager outpost there, but okay. Oh, we're already at world temperature minus 8.3, quite difficult to see. We've got some smoky or snowy misty effects going on here. Okay, and my body temperature is down to 2 and I'm freezing. Oh wow. Okay, I'm already freezing. So if that's what you will freeze to death if you don't warm up quickly. Okay, I'm here for you. I'm here for you. Let me crouch. And I believe I should have a backpack on my back. I don't have a backpack on my back. I didn't bring the backpack. Well, that's just silly, isn't it? All right, let's go into creative again. Okay, so I'm back out of creative now, and I've got myself the warming armor. So let's do that. Now here, what are we on? World temperature 12.5. My body temperature is still... Oh no, it's just ticked up to the 3rd one. Okay, so now if we run back into the snowy biome, it's getting a little bit. We were stood somewhere over here. Temperature is dropping now. It's at 8. Well, it's actually rising. So world temperature has gone up. Where was it when it was going? So if I was there, 8.3. At one point, it dipped all the way down to like 2. But my body temperature remains in the 3rd square. And we're not getting the warning about being close to death. So the temperature, or the armor, sorry, is definitely helping in the temperature. I want to go and try and find an ice lake. There's one down there. Let me just quickly get over there. So what happens in terms of this ice breaking? Luckily, you don't break it. Oh, wow, look. Even in creative as I'm walking, so you don't just have to stand still to trigger it. As you're walking, that ice is cracking straight away. And then if I stand still, I'm on the... Oh, look. And it's just... Luckily, I was stood on the edge of this one. So the old mining straight down technique works. Oh, look at that. Okay, so if I stand here, though... Oh, wow. And now I'm wet. It will lower your temperature and prevent you from starting a fire. Water temperature's down. And my body temperature is so low as well. Oh, wow. Yeah, this is mad. Alright, let's go and try and find a desert and see what it's like in a hot biome. Alright, so I'm in a desert now then. And what we're immediately seeing here is one of the new structures. So we've got the skeleton in the desert. And if I interact on him, doesn't seem to do anything. What if we go into survival? Crouch and interact. No, punch him. I'm starting to overheat immediately. Okay, I punched him. I got a bone and a glass bottle. All right. And now I'm immediately getting nausea effect as well. So world temperature has jumped all the way up to 35.5. And my body temperature has jumped up too. I've been given weakness effect. Okay, cool. So what happens then is put the cooling armor on. Let's see what effect that has. So world temperature is 35.6. I lose my status effect and my body temperature comes back down again. Okay, so the armor works. That's awesome. I'm very happy to see that the armor works. I am trying to tempt fate now by running across the desert to try and find some quicksand. In the creative menu, there is no quicksand block that I can find. So it's like, I don't know if it's just going to be sand or whatnot, but there's also these trees here. Now, are these more skeletons? No, it's an oasis. So we've also found an oasis here as well. There you go. Those custom generated structures that you get. Very nice. Maybe a few too many next to each other. And I don't know what happened to my voice there when I said very nice. I'm just going to move past that. Let me go into creative again. Let's have a little fly around. Can we find anything that looks obviously quicksandy? Wasn't sure if it was going to use like suspicious gravel or anything like that. Maybe just stood here. In the book, it did look like it was slightly different tonally, but this might be one that I have to leave to you guys to experience. We saw the lake, but I don't think we're going to be able to see quicksand. Doesn't look like it's particularly... Oh, look, there's tumbleweed as well. Yeah, it's not looking like it's particularly quicksandy around here. I may have to back out on this one because it's already quite a long video and I don't really know how to find any others. So, what we can do now is go and see what it looks like in the Nether and the End. And immediately I'm calling myself a liar here because I've just found it. There is the slightest change to sand. It's a little bit more red here. I don't know if you guys can see this on the camera, but there's normal sand and there's quicksand. And so I can do this in creative as well. Which can walk along, stand here. Look, we've immediately been caught by it. We get mining fatigue and slow falling. Obviously I am in creative here, so go to survival. Danger, you're muddy, it will lower your temperature. And trying to get out of here is not easy. It's like I'm drowning. I can't quite work out what we got. I can't get out of this block. Oh, wow. Oh, no, I'm sinking further. Oh, no. We hit the bottom and it seems to be a bit easier to deal with. I will get out of this by punching it, I promise. There we go. Okay. Oh, that was a bit of a pain, to be honest with you. Okay. So then, what we can probably do next then... That's kind of cool, though. I really do like that. And it does just come up, by the way. Oh, no. Now it's there as quicksand. That is not in the creative menu. So, sand, quicksand. There it is. Okay. So, what we'll do now is let me just sort out my settings a bit. And we'll try and get a storm to come in. And I'll at least be able to show you one of the storms. And I thought we could test the bed here as well while we were here. I know this is quite a long section, so I do apologize. But there's a lot to show, to be fair. If we put down a red bed, what I want to do is go into survival. And we'll try and just heal up a little bit. And just make sure that sleeping works in general. Okay, so we're about 3 hearts away from healed. I'd consider this to be fine to sleep in. There's a weird sound effect going on right now. I'm going to try and sleep. You can only sleep at night. Game doesn't consider this to be nighttime. The moon is literally there, game. Okay, so I can sleep. Sleeping is fine. Leave the bed. So if we go here, we're going to take some damage again now. We're going to go up to here. We're going to break a leg. So sorry if you didn't hear the sound earlier, or if you did. Let's go again. Oy, that is a nasty sound. But we may need to go again. Sorry. So let's go up again and take another damage. Alright, so 4 hearts. 4 hearts is fine. So I'm sleeping. Alright, can you hit me? Come on, hit me, bro. Stop trying to hit me and hit me. 3.5. 2.5. Your health is too low to sleep. Try regenerating. So it does affect it. And I'm going to quickly go into that before he kills me. And yeah, so the sleep does get affected by your health. That's cool. That's quite creative, in fact. And then if we go into time day to go for the next day, how do we trigger a storm to happen? Okay, so unfortunately, despite having the world set to 100% on storms and hail, I can't get it to do either. I've gone for a few days and it's not really spawning. It could be something to do with me being on creative. I'm not sure. So we're going to go into the Nether and we're just going to see what happens here. Maybe we can get a storm to trigger in the Nether. I have turned it all on in the settings menu as well. So that's very disappointing, but I feel like it's probably something I've done, not something the add-on's done. If you're playing with the add-on, let me know if you've been able to get storms. That would be great, but I can't sit here for 5 hours, I'm afraid. I'm already late with today's video. If we come up here in the Nether, we're looking at a temperature of 30, 40, 50. Okay, body temperature's already up high, so we already know we'd be getting nausea and whatnot. The Nether sits at 52.7 degrees. That's kind of mad still. And if we come around here, I mean, I wonder what would happen if I go to weather, not rain. Can I trigger a thunderstorm? What happens if I trigger a thunderstorm in the Nether? Not sure what that just was. There was a weird noise there. Oh, there's like a purple. No, that's normal, isn't it? I think. Never mind. This one hit thunderstorm. Changing to rain and thunder. Does that have any effect on the game's Nether storms? I do so many texture pack reviews. I don't know if this purple fog is the add-on or vanilla? Let me know down in the comments. Doesn't look like it's triggering any nether storms, but the temperature in here is crazy. To be that hot, you're definitely going to need some form of armor. You're going to need to definitely cool yourself down. Look at body temperature and world temperature is really hot straight away. Nice sound effects in here as well, though. Okay, let's go and have a look. Set block, that one. End portal. Let's see what the end looks like in terms of temperature. So we'll be here on the island. The world temperature plummeting quickly. Wow, really plummeting. Minus. It's minus down here. Minus 20? No way. Minus 20 world temperature down here. Body temperature. Well, yeah, you're going to need the armor to travel to the nether and the end. That is actually mad. Okay, so unfortunately, I wasn't able to show you guys the thunderstorms. I wasn't able to show you the nether and end storms. I can't get them to work. I hope that's a me thing and not a bug on the add-on, because even at 490, you want that to work. I'm going to go easy and hope that that was me, but let me know down in the comments. Community feedback would really help there. 490 mine tokens for this add-on is a crazy price, though. That's an amazingly good value price for what we're dealing with here. Even with the storm bugging out, the fact that you can turn it off and on as well, so you can there's allowances that can be made, but I want it to be working, so I hope it is. Other than that, there's a couple structures I didn't show you, but I've pretty much shown you most of the fundamentals of this add-on. This has been one of the longest experience sections I've ever done, because there's so much in this add-on. I like this add-on from what I've seen, and I hope it plays as well in survival. Let me know what your experiences are. Let me know what you think about the add-on down in the comments. Oh, we're getting a storm. We're getting a storm or we're getting wind. One of the two. I've angered the gods. The wind is coming. I'm walking into the wind. Going to survival. Going to survival. Whoa! End storm! End storm! Oh, damn! Yeah, that went a little bit crazy. Okay, the storms are all going a little bit mad. Okay, so it works. Wow. Okay, so it works. There you go. Please do leave a like on the video. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think. And if you're new to the channel, as always, please do hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Sorry this video was a bit late. Have a good one. Peace.